We've been talking about coming events in Bible prophecy, things that we should be looking for to happen on planet Earth and in heaven as we head into the future. The Bible tells us what's going to be happening, so we need to be ready. One of the next major events after the rapture, the catching up of the church from the earth, is going to be what is called the Tribulation. This is a description of Daniel's 70th week. The prophet Daniel described in the book of Daniel. This is 7 years of God's wrath being poured out on planet Earth. It'll be the worst time in the history of the planet. And it's divided basically by the book of Daniel into two sections. There's the first half, and then what happens at the midpoint, and then the second half. Let's talk about it together. In the first half of the tribulation, these things are going to be happening. The Antichrist is going to be signing a peace treaty with Israel. Look for that. Temple worship is going to begin again in Israel. They're going to be worshiping Jehovah in a temple in Jerusalem. There's going to be 144,000 Jews converted to Christianity. It's going to be an amazing thing. I think the rapture of the church spurs them to conversion. The Antichrist is going to assume leadership over some sort of confederation in Europe. Interesting, Europe was always divided into groups until the last few years when under the common market, Europe has been united. The Antichrist is going to experience some sort of resurrection. Is it a physical thing? Is it a political thing? We don't know, but there's going to be some sort of resurrection of the Antichrist that's going to propel him into global worship, being worshiped globally and into global leadership and power. And the midpoint, that's 3.5 years. These are going to happen in that first 3.5 years. At the midpoint, the Antichrist is going to stop the temple worship in Jerusalem and install himself as God. And the false prophet is going to promote the whole world under one world religion of worshiping the Antichrist. So that leads us to the second half of the tribulation. Jesus called it this half, the Great Tribulation. It's the last 3.5 years. The Antichrist is going to be ruling every aspect of life on planet Earth. He's going to persecute the Jews. He's going to invade Israel to try to destroy the Jews. The wars of Armageddon are going to begin, moving into the Mideast. Armies marching from Europe and from Asia. And these battles are going to be going on, global wars, and at the end Jesus returns. He's going to defeat his enemies. He's going to throw the Antichrist and the false prophet into the lake of fire. Now you say, all this bad stuff is happening. Why? Well, it's happening for three reasons. One, to judge the nations. The nations have been rebelling against God, and God's eventually going to say, enough is enough. Like in the days of Noah when he sent the flood, God's going to send tribulation, the tribulation to the earth. He's also preparing Israel to finally receive Jesus as their Messiah. And ultimately, in the midst of all this turmoil, all this chaos, many people are going to come to Jesus Christ. You say, in light of the tribulation, what should I do? Well, if you're not saved, you want to be saved. If you get saved, you don't have to go through all of this. You can experience the rapture, the rewards banquet, and the joys of heaven. You need to get serious right now. Get the sin out of your life and get serious about living for God, because these things are going to happen and they're coming soon. And you need to get busy. You need to get busy serving God. You need to get busy telling people about Jesus, because there's coming a day when you're not going to have that opportunity. Jesus is coming soon. You need to be ready.